Well, hello, IDS 105 students, and welcome to your very first week in your IDS 105 course. I wanted to take just a couple of minutes and walk you through the classroom environment real fast so you know how to find everything that you need and where to click for your Module 1 Week 1 assignments. So first things first, your classroom space is called Brightspace. That's that learn.snhu.edu. Any of the classes that you are taking, those courses will be in your Brightspace area. So you want to navigate yourself there. You want to find your IDS 105 course. Once you're here, a couple of things I wanted to point out. Underneath course menu, you'll see a quick link to announcements. This is where you will see a My Instructor announcement, which tells you who your instructor is, a little bit about them, and their contact information. You will also see consistently throughout the weeks announcements that'll be posted by your instructor. These are so helpful. So make sure you are always checking your course announcements because they'll put tips for your success, reminders, motivational things. It might break down concepts or give you some more information to help you understand what you're talking about in your class from week to week. So that announcement space is a great place to be. If you click on learning modules, it's just a quick way to access all of the different weeks. Your class is 8 weeks long. So for week 1, module 1, that is your very first week of the class. So you want to focus on those assignments that are only listed in module 1 for week 1. Then you'll get to week 2, module 2, and all the way through for module 8, week 8. Okay, so just 1 week at a time. I want to make sure that you understood that. Quick link to discussions, assignments, and grades so you can stay on top of your grades from week to week. Before we go into what you're doing here for week 1, module 1, I wanted to just encourage you to make sure that you click on this Start Here area. When you do that, it's going to open up a lot of course information about your IDS 105 class, okay? You will notice that you have an IDS 105 syllabus. So when you click on this PDF of the syllabus, it is actually going to open up a document that goes over your classroom policies. It's also going to talk about what to expect, what your class is. And as you scroll through it, it'll remind you any required materials that you might have. But what I wanted to point out is you will see this grade distribution, so knowing what your assignments are worth, but also there is this weekly assignment schedule. This is really helpful because it breaks down week by week what you have due and what you're supposed to be doing, okay? So it's a great document for you to review. Plus, we have an electronic textbook for IDS 105. So once you purchase those course materials, you want to get it connected. This section right here under Start Here, this vital source information, walks you through everything with helpful videos and step-by-step instructions. But if you get stuck with anything regarding your textbook, reach out to your advisor here at SNHU. They are the best person to get you situated for success, okay? The other thing I wanted to point out under the Start Here area is all the way at the bottom, save the best for last, is a direct link to the IDS 105 learning community. The IDS 105 learning community is actually in SNHU Connect, so it's outside of Brightspace. There's nothing graded in SNHU Connect. The learning community is completely optional, but it's a great space for you to get helpful extra tips and ideas for your success. There's videos and webinars for every single week of the term. Plus, all the students that are taking IDS 105 are in these learning community spaces. So you can get to know other students that might not just be in your specific classroom. Okay, it's a great space to ask questions, see what other students are doing, get tips, advice. It's just a really cool space to definitely check out, okay? So let's focus real quick on Module 1. So that's the week that we're in for Week 1, Module 1. When you click on that, it's always going to open up a page that looks like this. You're going to see these blue text headings. You always want to click the blue. It gets you to where you want to go. That's what I always say. You're always going to have an introduction that talks about the objectives and the overview of the module so you can understand what you're going to be learning about and expected to understand. You want to scroll all the way down, arrow over. I wanted to point out that especially in IDS 105, you have a lot of reading content within the actual module. So don't skip this because there's a lot of information in here that's going to help you answer the questions on your assignments from week to week, okay? So you can see right here, there's quite a bit of reading. As you scroll down and arrow over, there will always be, for every single module, so every single week, a required resources section. This will have any textbook reading, like chapters that you need to review. It'll also have any supplemental information like videos to help you connect the concepts you're talking about or learning about, or extra articles, or even websites, or just different things, resources that'll help you be successful in answering your questions from week to week. But I also want to point out, underneath additional support, you will, and online learning resources, you will find a lot of helpful videos that are step-by-step tutorials, like how to do the discussion boards, how to understand your rubric, how to use a Microsoft Word document if that's something that you haven't done or it's been a minute since you've done it, okay? So I wanted to make sure that I pointed out those things for you. You can always navigate your course by arrowing over. But what I wanted to point out really quick here for this week is you have a couple of different assignments. So first and foremost, you have a discussion assignment. Again, there's a step-by-step tutorial video that I just showed you where to find that'll walk you through how to do the discussion. But this week, you're basically introducing yourself, and then you're going to share some information about some of the course concepts you're learning about this week. I always tell students, review your required resources, do the reading within the module, then go back and do your assignments, okay? So I wanted to point out for the discussion board, you would just click directly on the discussion board. It's going to open up, again, that discussion. It's going to see the questions that you need to answer. And one of the things you want to make sure that you are always doing too is you're going to actually create a new thread is what you will do. So always make sure that you create a new thread, answer the questions using your own words, and then you reply to at least 2 of your classmates. Your initial discussion post is due by Thursdays, anytime you have a discussion assignment. And then you want to respond to at least 2 of your classmates by Sunday or before the week it's assigned, as convenient for your schedule. Okay. The other assignment that you have this week in Module 1 is this 1-2 journal. When you click on guidelines and rubric, it'll pull up an overview of the actual assignment that you're going to be doing. So you'll see an overview, you'll see directions. So it tells you in the directions that you're going to be answering these 4 questions. Always pay attention to the questions, no matter what the assignment is, because most of them have several pieces or parts, okay? For your journal assignment, it tells you right here underneath what to submit, what you need to do. So for your journal assignment, your submission should be about a 1-page Microsoft Word document. It also gives you some requirements for the font, double spacing, what the margins should look like. I always tell students that any sources that you use, you want to work to cite those using the APA style. And if you're stuck or have questions about that, I'm going to show you a wonderful resource for your success. So basically, you're going to be taking these 4 questions and answering them, but you're going to pop open a Word document and type out your thoughts, okay? You can write them in an essay style. You can write them underneath each one. The key is answering the questions and using enough relevant details and examples to drive your points home, okay? I did want to point out that for journal assignments, you can use what's called a video note submission. However, it's not as simple as just taking a video of yourself answering the questions. There are different requirements that you need to make sure that you meet for these video note submissions, and you can find that information underneath the Start Here area of your classroom. Your journal assignment is due by Sunday or before, as convenient for your schedule, okay? So those are a couple of the assignments. The last assignment that you have in here for week 1, module 1, is an optional non-graded, so it's not graded, warm-up. A warm-up is basically like an open book quiz, y'all, okay? So it's not timed. You can take it as many times as you want to earn your best score. I always tell students whenever you have a warm-up to make sure you review the module reading, any of the required resources, and then take that warm-up. Even though this is not graded, I highly encourage you to take it because it'll prepare you with what to expect and how to submit a warm-up for when you have one later in the term that is graded, okay? So just to wrap up real quick, assignments, discussion assignment, you're answering those initial post questions by Thursday or before as convenient for your schedule, and then responding to at least 2 of your classmates by Sunday or before. Your journal assignment, you're answering those questions that are listed in a Microsoft Word document or something compatible. That is due by Sunday or before, and the warm-up is optional. It is not graded. Couple of resources I wanted to point out really quick up here at the top. If you have any sources you need to cite, click the down arrow. The Shapiro Library has wonderful citing your sources guide and also these frequently asked research question spaces, or you can visit their homepage too if you want to know some more. Underneath this help area, if you click on this little arrow, you'll find these student tutorial videos. If you're stuck with how to submit a discussion board or how to upload an assignment, there's step-by-step instructions on these student tutorial videos. If you click on Online Student Services, it pulls up all of the different departments and teams that are here at SNHU that can help support your success. bookstore, advising, academic support, the list goes on, right? But down here, almost to the bottom, it says Office 365 and other software. If you do not have Microsoft Word or something compatible, which will allow you to submit your assignments so that your faculty can open them and grade them, you want to make sure that you get that. This is free to you as an SNHU student. You want to click the blue, gets you where you want to go, follow the prompts, and you'll be able to get that downloaded to your system. If you get stuck, you have questions, reach out to our amazing help desk here at SNHU, where you could always loop in your advisor too, okay? Want to find the learning community for IDS 105? Click on SNHU Connect. There's another space for you. And the last thing I want to leave you with is academic support. If you click on academic support at the top, it opens up their menu of services, and you will find a couple of really awesome things. One, they have a million workshops that you can attend. If you can't make the session, still register for it because you'll get a copy of the recording. But most students absolutely love to use the 24/7 drop-in tutoring for general questions. But for writing assignments, especially if you have not written academically ever or in a very long time, it can be really helpful to write up your discussion initial post or write up that journal and kind of your rough draft, submit that to the written feedback team. So you click on submit a draft and you're going to follow the prompts. It's going to have you upload and submit any of your writing assignments that you want feedback on. You want to be very specific with what you want the tutor to focus on, and you get targeted feedback within 12 hours. So it's really cool. It's really easy to use. It's a click away and upload, and you can get wonderful feedback on how you're doing, but be specific with what you want the tutor to look for, okay? Y'all, that's it for week 1. Remember, discussion assignment, initial post due by Thursday. Respond to at least 2 of your classmates by Sunday. That journal assignment is due by Sunday, and that warm-up is optional, but I encourage you to do it. Have an amazing week 1, y'all. You got this.